Hello, fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today for this week's WIP and Chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress, and this is mine. You are welcome and encouraged to go grab whatever you are working on and work alongside while I chat. Or alternatively, you can treat this as a podcast and just listen while I chat. Today, I'm going to be continuing to work on my Colorful Soul from Diamond Painting Shop. This is one of my currently 5 WIPs in rotation, and I wanted to work on this one. So I'm going to move things around a bit, zoom into where I'm going to be working, and I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, my timer started. I've got my notes. I've got everything. I think I'm ready to go. Okay, so let me start with my life update, which isn't going to be much. There isn't really a whole lot going on in my life this week. It's kind of a boring week. You know, sometimes some weeks you just live your life and that's how stuff goes. We had work, we had school, we had diamond painting. We did head into the university on Friday in town to go get my son's student ID, which he was less than thrilled about. Mom, I don't need, and I'm like, you do need it. You have to have it to be able to take your final. No, I'll just take my regular ID. And I'm like, it doesn't work like that. If the person proctoring the test doesn't know you, which even the instructor doesn't know him, you know, their class is online, you have to prove, you know, who you are. Well, I've got my driver's license. I said yes, but they want your student ID. I mean, should your driver's license suffice? Yes. I'm not going to argue that it shouldn't, but if they've told you to bring it and you don't, then you don't get to take the final or the midterm, and then where are you going to be? Yeah, just another one of those hoops that you got to jump through that I keep reminding them about. I mean, I think a lot of the stuff that I have to do is dumb too, but I got to do it, so you got to do it, right? You got to do what you got to do so you can do what you want to do. So we did that. We did get back to walking this week. I'm still dealing with some issues, but my knee is better than it has been in general. It's still a little stiff and sore, but now it's stiff and sore in other places. So my husband keeps telling me it's just me getting old, and maybe he's right because, like I said, it's not sore where it was, but it is still sore. But we've been walking, and it has been nice. It has not been super hot and humid like it has been. Well, this last week, it's not been super hot and humid. Apparently, it's going to be super hot and humid next week, so ugh. I was enjoying the cooler weather, but I guess it's not going to be sticking around for long. I can't believe it's still, you know, it's supposed to be almost 100 degrees this week, and it's the first week of October. Like, where is my fall weather? I want my fall weather. Oh, my husband and I were talking about stuff. And I'm curious because, you know, I'm assuming things are done differently in different places. But like here in the US, generally speaking, now it can be different, you know, if you're in a different place or whatever. But like here where we are, if you buy a house, the appliances generally come with the house. At least if there's a dishwasher, it stays. The stove generally stays. The microwave generally stays if it's a built-in, which most houses have these days. Washer and dryers are not included, and the fridge can be kind of iffy, but I was suddenly like, are those things included typically in a home sale in Canada? Because everything seems different, you know, like I expect things to be, not that I expect them to be exactly the same, but we were talking about car registration and the differences in titles in between here in Canada, and you know how different it is to sell your car up there versus here and all that kind of stuff. And because I was like, when we import our vehicles, do we then have to go get Canadian titles for them? And he said, oh, well, I don't know. And I'm like, well, something about cars he owned never had titles. They just had little registration cards. And I'm like, so the registration is the title in Canada? Because here they're two different things. The title is one thing showing that you own the car, and then the registration shows that you registered to drive it in the state where you live and you've paid taxes on it. So yeah, just all kinds of things I have all kinds of questions about Probably because I'm just one of those type A people that I need to know what's going on so I can plan and be organized. And my husband is much more a fly by the seat of his pants. Oh, I don't know, we'll figure it out when we get there kind of person, which admittedly drives me crazy sometimes. Although I'm sure I probably drive him crazy with my incessant questions and need to know. But I need to know this. I need to know it. I don't really, but I'll feel better if I know it. Or maybe I won't. I don't know. I say that. Maybe knowing will make me feel worse. I still need to get all of our paperwork together because we're supposed to be sending stuff to the mortgage lender up there so we can see about looking for a house up there while we're still down here. I think our plan at this point is to wait until my youngest is done with his degree. And then we'll go up there and we don't have to worry about school or any of that kind of stuff. You know, we can just kind of get on with life. You know, we might end up moving before then. I don't know. We'll see how things go. And then I was busy paying bills this month when we get to the end of the month so I can do all of my, you know, balancing I keep a budget and keeping track of the budget and seeing if there's places where we can spend less. Because of course there always is. But I forgot our car insurance was coming due. So I had to badly scramble because my husband didn't get a paycheck this week because he was gone last week on his little trip to Canada. And if he doesn't work, he doesn't get paid. So we had no paycheck coming in. And I'm like, oh no, we've got this big bill coming in. And then, I mean, I had money in savings to transfer it. I just needed to remember to do it. We get the bill and I'm like, well, why is it so much money? And we go in and look and, you know, we supposedly get like $2,500 in discounts because we have multiple vehicles and our house with the same company and all this. And I'm like, oh, you know, a discount because we pay in advance, a discount because we do the auto pay thing where they can just take it out of our checking account. I'm like, are we really getting $2,500 in discounts? Or are they just like making it up and then it's supposed to make you feel better about the exorbitant price you're paying for premiums? Because my husband and I were talking about it and I was like, we pay so much money between our car insurance, which is for 3 cars, and his is the only one we have to carry comprehensive on because that one has a loan on it. The other cars are paid off. The car insurance, the house insurance, which is coming due, and I shudder to think what that's going to be because house insurance premiums are just skyrocketing everywhere. I mean, I guess I should count ourselves lucky that we're still able to obtain housing insurance because so many house insurance companies are pulling out of the housing market in several states. Between house insurance, car insurance, and what we pay in property insurance, we're talking 12, 13 grand a year just for those things. That doesn't include the mortgage. That doesn't include all of our day-to-day bills like heating, cooling, you know, electricity, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I just, prices are crazy. And my husband and I were looking today and talking about getting a side of beef and splitting it with my sister because the price of beef is so crazy right now. Eggs have gone back down. Remember when eggs were like $5 a dozen because, I don't know, there was some kind of chicken disease or something? I never did figure out exactly why eggs got so expensive there for a while. But they're sort of back down to where they were. But yeah, meat is crazy expensive right now. Beef, I should say. All meat is not crazy expensive, but beef is for whatever reason. Anyway, okay, so yeah, stuff's expensive. That was my life this week. And that's pretty much it for my life update. Like I said, it was kind of a boring week. We didn't really have a whole heck of a lot going on, just living life. Which is, you know, I'm happy for those weeks. I don't need every week to be full of excitement and whatnot. So boring is good some weeks. I'm happy to have boring. All right. So that leaves me on to my diamond painting update. So I don't know if everybody saw my post on my YouTube community post. I found decorative diamond painting release papers on Amazon. So apparently all of the budget companies have gotten wind that people like to have decorated, printed, colorful diamond painting release papers, and now they're everywhere. So I went ahead and bought some just to see what they were like. And I gotta say, I think it was a package of 60 for like, I don't know, $15, somewhere in there. So they're not super expensive. But I think most of the packages I looked at, they were 60 pieces in each package. And it was like, I don't really need 60 pieces with all the same design. I mean, 60 pieces of release paper, and these are the, you know, regular roughly 4x6 release sheets. That's a huge diamond painting to need 60 of them. And so I was like, well, I think, you know, selling them in smaller batches makes more sense because, I mean, yeah, you want to have enough to cover your diamond painting, but even some of the really big ones that I've done, I don't need 60. Maybe on Diana, I would have needed that many, but I don't think on anything else. Like there's no way this one would take, at 40 by 40, that it would take 60, 50 by 50, that this one would take 60 sheets. Although one of the packages I bought, well, one was 60 of the same design. The other one was 6 design, 10 sheets each. So I think that makes a little more sense, still for roughly around $15. I will say they were thinner than I expected them to be. They're not completely transparent, but they're not as thick as I expected them to be. And while I appreciate getting the additional, you know, designs, like I said, because there was 6 designs, it didn't, well, they're more transparent than I thought they would be. And each design, the 4x6 sheet itself is got lines on it to divide it into 9 squares. So you can cut, you know, pretty small, like maybe a section this big squares, which, you know, maybe some people want to do, but that's not how I wanted to use them. So I found that a little bit odd. But at least it did have different designs. So each, like I said, 6 designs. So each one had 10 sheets of whatever that design was. Although I will also say the printing is not very colorful. All of the designs seem kind of muted rather than bright, which is not how they appear on the screen when you're buying them. And, you know, I know you can't always tell from a computer screen what something's going to look like. Everybody's computer monitors are different, that kind of thing. But yeah, they were just also duller, I think, more muted colors than I thought they would be. But a nice alternative, you know, if you don't want to spend a whole bunch of money, but you want something kind of not just the boring white. I know I've had a couple people say that having a design on the release paper is brain overload for them because it looks too busy. So, you know, do what makes you happy. If you don't want design decorative release papers, don't get them. Use the white ones. That makes you happy and works better for you. All right. I can't believe it's already October. So I've been looking ahead and trying to figure out, you know, what do I need to do to get ready for October? I've got things coming up. I had projects I needed to finish first. So well, let me go back. I'm just going to do October plans now, and then I'll talk about what I got finished in September, because I'm going to get out of order and then I'm going to confuse myself. So October plans, I'm getting ready for DP for Vets. You guys will be seeing information about that. I will be doing some information in the next coming WIP chats about the sponsors that I got and what some of the prizes will be. Some of them I haven't gotten yet, so I'm not quite sure what they'll be. So hopefully by the time, you know, we get to the end of October, I'll know what those are. So I'm going to be working on that. I will be doing a video with all the official rules and everything sometime in October with the entry form so that everybody can get signed up and figure out what you're going to do and what canvas and all that kind of stuff. So make sure that you have that on your calendar and be ready for that. I also need to do a goals update. It is the end of September. Well, yesterday was the end of September. So I need to kind of go back and look at where I'm at and all my goals. I think I'm doing pretty good this year. I'm pretty happy with how things have gone this year. Even if they haven't gone the way that I thought they would at the beginning of the year, I think I'm doing pretty good on most of them. So I'm feeling good about that. I need to do another stash update, which I'm sure my stash has gone in the wrong direction, but that's okay. I'm trying to look at it as you know, eventually I'll get them all done. Buy them now while I have the money for them, and then maybe if something happens when we move, if we, you know, don't have as much money after, because I have no idea how much it's going to cost us to buy a house and all of that. Things are different up there, then I've got a stash that I can work from, which will be good. I haven't found anything specifically that I wanted to buy yet. I seriously considered buying the last mystery box from Diamond Art Club, because I did go back and it was like half the price of the ones that they did last year. But I only kept like 2 of the kits from last year anyway. And then I saw a couple people sharing what they had gotten in their mystery box, and a lot of it was like Warner Brothers, Marvel, Teletubby, you know, type stuff, and I don't want any of those, so I'm kind of glad I didn't spend the money, because I would have been disappointed if those were the kits that I'd gotten, because I have zero interest in doing any of those. And while I'm okay with, you know, possibly giving a few of them away like I did with the last mystery box, giving them all away didn't sound like fun. I mean, it would have been fun to give them away, but I would have been disappointed that I spent that money and didn't even get one kit that I liked. So I didn't buy it, which means more money for Black Friday, so that's good. I finally finished my Oraloa sneak peek. You guys, working on that kit and trying to kind of keep it a secret. I mean, I did show pictures of the drills and stuff on my Instagram, but I didn't tell anybody, you know, what the kit was or anything, obviously, because it was a sneak peek. It won't be out until tomorrow. The kit won't, but it was super cute. It was an artist that I really like, and I'm so happy that I got it done. I put myself under a huge time crunch to get it done because I wanted to be able to show off the completed kit. And I didn't have to. I mean, that's all stress that I put on myself, but I really wanted to get it done so I could show you guys the completed kit at the same time as the sneak peek, because I thought that would be fun. And I did really enjoy doing the kit. I think, though, between that one and the Halloween sneak peek that I did for Oraloa, I just got kind of burnt out on squares, as well as getting burnt out on really dark colors, because both the Halloween one and the one that I just finished, the Magie, were both very dark colors, lots of dark browns or dark blues and blacks, and it's just wearing on my eyeballs after a while, I think, that doing all of those dark colors. But it's all done. She looks wonderful. I'm so happy I finished her, and yeah, got to show you guys all the fun sneak peek, so win-win. And she is an artist that had been on my artist series to complete for a while, so I get to count the kit towards that, even though it was not one I had planned on doing, because she's an artist whose work I had never done anything by before. Oh, and huge shout out to Crystal because I mentioned that that same artist is the one that did the Canada one that I'm constantly looking for, to maybe do a cross-stitch conversion, see if she's got it somewhere as a cross-stitch kit, and then I can do a conversion, which had honestly never even occurred to me. I don't know why, but that sounds like a terrific idea, and I'm going to do exactly that. Go out and see if there is a cross-stitch pattern that I can do a conversion with, because I've been wanting to do some cross-stitch conversions anyway. I actually think that's a really great way to do paintings that not everybody has seen. I mean, I'm all for all the shops, you know, Diamond Painting Shop, Oraloa, Dreamer Designs, Diamond Art Club, all those shops that do kits where you just get everything, it's all in one, and you don't have to go look for pieces, parts, and whatever. However, I also really enjoy seeing people do cross-stitch conversions, and there's some really cute stuff out there in cross-stitch patterns that would make really cute diamond paintings. And you know, rather than waiting for the diamond painting companies, because honestly, some of them are small enough that diamond painting companies wouldn't do them anyway. But yeah, it will let me do the kit that I want. So I'm going to go see if I can find it somewhere and see. And even if I can't find it somewhere, honestly, I can probably find. At one point before I switched over to my Mac, I had some stitch software that would let me convert pictures and stuff to diamond paintings, to, well, I mean, it's made for converting them to cross stitching, but same difference, right? So you just tell it to do all whole stitches so that there's no, you know, half stitches, quarter stitches, whatever. And then you can make it into a diamond painting. I just have never gotten around to doing it because it's kind of time consuming. But for that kit, I absolutely definitely could do that. So huge thank you to Crystal for thinking of that because, like I said, it just didn't occur to me. Don't know why. It should have, but it didn't. So yeah, and I've seen some really cute Halloween little cross stitch ones that I could convert to. I actually bought a bunch of little, like, kind of like paint gems, but little cross stitch kits that I can convert into diamond paintings, and I keep meaning to do it. Something else comes up that seems more urgent or that I feel like I want to work on more, and so I just haven't gotten around to it, but definitely need to do that because I've already paid for the patterns. I just need to sit down and do them. I should do that, sit down and see what kind of blank canvases I could find, because I could get some inexpensive blank canvases and just cut them to the size that I need, you know, like the paint gems or whatever. So yeah, anyway, finish the Orlo sneak peek. Yeah, I don't, like I said, I think I got very close to burnout on that one. So I don't think I'm going to be pushing myself that hard on any future sneak peeks. I mean, it's nice. I think it's really cool to be able to show you the completed painting, but I just have so many other things going on right now. I don't think it's realistic for me to think that I could, you know, any other sneak peeks that I'm going to do, that I could be able to finish them and show them to you at the same time. I wish I could. Sometimes also don't get them in enough time to even do that. There are a couple things that I get sneak peeks for that I literally get them just 2 or 3 days ahead of the release dates. There's no way I could do them that quickly anyway. But now that that one is done, I can kind of get back to my regularly scheduled programming, and I can start working on all of these multiple WIPs that I have going on that are driving me crazy. So that one was done. What do I currently have sitting in my WIP? I don't know, my WIP area, I guess, my back of the door, closet door. I've got my old Mary's diamonds before Bella Art bought them that I need to finish, which is a square. I've got this one, which is a square. I've got the Mooney Made one, which I just kitted up this week, which is a square. And I've got this one, which is a square. And again, not that I dislike squares, but just doing so many of them all at once, I think, especially because the sneak peek was a square, like I said, and trying to get that one done quickly so I could show it to you guys. Just, yeah. I want to get a couple of these squares done, and then I think I will do a round, just kind of give my brain a break. I am working currently also on a round. I do have a round WIP as well, and that is my Diamond Dot Seahorses that I'm doing. I am actually loving that one. Not only is it round, so it goes faster, it's a partial, so it goes faster, and it's super colorful. It's got just literally a rainbow of colors in it, and it is such a nice change from all the dark colors that I did with the 2 Orlos and everything. That's one reason why I'm working on this one today, because it is, while it's maybe not necessarily a huge amount of bright colors, at least it is some light colors and not dark blues and blacks, so I can give my eyeballs a bit of a break from all those dark colors. I think I mentioned last week that I was going to go out and do like a shopping spree, and I did not do that. I did go out and buy a couple of diamond painting pens. There are so many diamond painting pen shops that, and so many that I want to try. So I have a whole list of places that I want to try. But this time I wanted to just buy pens that were already made so they could just ship them to me, which I know the one pen has already shipped, the other one hasn't, so I may not have read all the fine print on that one close enough. I thought it was one that was already made that would be shipping to me, but I haven't got a notice yet that it ships, so we'll see. But I didn't really find a ton of diamond paintings that I wanted to buy. So like I said, the Harajuku girl from from Bella Art Diamonds that I want to get. Just nothing else that screamed at me that I had to have. I mean, I went and looked at Diamond Art Club and all their previous new releases. Didn't see anything that I wanted. Same with a couple of other companies. Although, that's something I was thinking about before. Like, if I go into a craft store, most of the craft stores right now are selling Christmas stuff because people need time to work on their crafts to get them done in time for the holiday, right? So typically craft stores are 2 or 3 months ahead of whatever the actual time is. So I'm curious why some of these diamond painting companies wait until, the month of Halloween, for example, to sell Halloween kits. Because, and maybe I'm an outlier in this, but I mean, I have other kits that I need to get done first. So if I wanted to make a Halloween kit for someone, like, then I'd have to bump other things out of the way. I don't know. It just seems like, why didn't they sell Halloween kits a couple of months ago? And then people could have bought them and had them ready to hang up either as decorations for the holiday or, to make them as gifts for someone. Because, like, if I wanted to make a Christmas gift for someone, I'd be wanting to buy the kits now so that I could have time to work on it and get it ready so that it was done in time to be a Christmas gift for someone. And I did notice Dreamer Designs this week, their new releases were all Christmas kits. And I thought, oh, well, that's interesting because, like I said, Diamond Art Clubs. Now, Orlo has been doing Halloween releases too, but they started doing those 2 or 3 weeks ago. So, I mean, they weren't exactly right before Halloween, but I was just curious about the thinking because it is essentially, a craft hobby. And so being able to work ahead, like I said, so that if you wanted to give it in time for whatever holiday was approaching, like, I don't want to wait until February to have Valentine's Day kits because then I don't have enough time to get them finished for Valentine's Day. But maybe that's just me, just something I was curious about. So I did go out and, I did get a couple of pins. Didn't find a ton of kits that I wanted to buy. Also, I think partly in the back of my mind was like, do I really want to buy a whole bunch of them now? Because I'm going to have to do a stash update. And do I want to have to admit that I went and bought 5 more canvases that are coming? And no, I really didn't. So yeah, I didn't end up buying anything. I think it's going to end up, I sort of in the back of my head was thinking, oh, well, I'll go to a company and buy 5 or 6 kits. And I don't think it's going to work out that way. I think it's much more likely that it's going to end up me going to, 5 or 6 different companies and buying 1 kit here, 2 kits there, or something like that, just so I can see what everything is like. I mean, it's always nice to sign up for the points and get the rewards and that kind of stuff, but honestly, I'm terrible, like I said, about even remembering that I have points to use for rewards. And so I don't. That stuff is less important to me than maybe other people because I just don't remember it. I do try to remember if there's a discount code or something that I can use because that is helpful, especially to help if you've got to pay shipping or something to help defray the cost of shipping because shipping never gets any cheaper, does it? So I'm working on this one today. Like I said, I'm working on trying to get all of those quote unquote WIPs done. I don't know if I should truly call the Mooney Maid a WIP. I haven't laid any drills on it yet, but this one is definitely a WIP. My seahorse is definitely a WIP. And the old Mary's Diamonds is definitely a WIP because they all have diamonds laid on the canvas. I do also have 2 of my Heaven and Earth designs downstairs that I haven't laid any drills on, although I do have one of them kitted up. I've just unboxed so many things recently too. It's like, do I want a bunch of stuff hanging around, nagging at me every time I see it that it's hanging there and I haven't done anything with it? I actually considered opening my other diamond painting Deutschland as well. One, because it is a double-sided adhesive kit and I'm kind of worried about the longevity of the double-sided adhesive. And 2, just because it's my biggest kit and I feel like I should open it soon. I would like to work on it. I wanted to work on it this year, but I would like to work on it next year and have it kind of be, this is my big canvas that I go to whenever I have spare time. But if I'm being completely honest with myself, that's not how I work. My brain, no matter how many kits I have going, my brain seems to prefer to focus on, this is the kit I'm working on, and work on it until it's done before I move on to something else. I know lots of people have different systems set up that enable them to work on multiple kits at once. I just don't know if that's ever going to be my thing. Just not how my brain works. And, you know, I got to do what makes me happy. I thought it would be something that I could handle and it would be good for the channel, but I actually think it hurt in a lot of ways because I'm not comfortable with it. I feel stressed, and I think that comes through when I'm feeling stressed and trying to make videos, and it's like, oh, I gotta get this done, I gotta get this done, I gotta get this done. And I do want this to be, you know, a relaxing hobby for me. That's why I got into it in the first place. Yeah, I just need to go back to my roots. I think that's what I've decided. So getting back to my roots and doing some more discoveries and stuff, I've actually had in the back of my mind, like I said, for a while now, that I wanted to do some cross-stitch conversions, but I need to do some research and figure out how best I want to do it. Of course, I'll share all that with you guys, but it just takes me a bit to kind of do all that. And frankly, I've been spending any time that I would have been doing research actually diamond painting because I was in such a hurry to get a couple of projects finished. But now that those projects are finished, I do have time to do some research and look into some of those things. And I think that's what I want to do. I think, like I said, being able to do some cross-stitch conversions gives you a lot of options just because, you know, you can go out and find any kind of a pattern. I mean, literally, I could go out and find a book, cross-stitch book of patterns and translate that into diamond paintings. It wouldn't be very difficult. I, of course, could use, you know, Pattern Keeper or that RX markup or whatever it's called for iOS, or, you know, those kind of tools. Or literally, you can just buy PDFs and print out the PDFs and go from paper. I remember when I used to cross stitch all the time, I would, you know, your patterns were in black and white. I would color in with colored pencils as I finished the stitches so I could keep my place more easily. That would be something I could go back to as well. I also have some end of the year stuff I need to think about. Now, this will be my last stash update coming up for the last quarter of the year. But then I'll have, you know, goals update. I need to start thinking about what I want my goals to be for next year. I need to go out and buy some new planners. And I think instead of just ordering everything online, I'm actually going to go in town and go to one of the craft/office stores and I want to get a 2024 planner. But then I also want to get some old planners because I want to use an old one for my diamond painting logbook again. I really like using the big size Happy Planner. I've been very happy using that this year as the size of my diamond painting. It makes printing out the pages and everything so much easier because it's just standard 8.5 by 11 paper. I do want to do another design for 2004. Jeez Louise. If only it was 2004. A new design for 2024 is what I meant to say. Last year, I made the book kind of all, you know, flourishy and scripty, and I don't know if I want to do, it was all just black and white, which is fine. I know, you know, people printing at home, it doesn't need to be printed in color, but I'm thinking I might do something a little bit more colorful with it this time. I don't know. I'm still playing around. I just feel like I want it to be different, a different design than last year's. I mean, I could just keep using last year's, and I think the elements of it will stay the same. I really like having the little tracker in the back, my little Bujo tracker that I fill in with all the colors, the shapes that I fill in with colors when I finish a kit. I really like that, so I will keep that. I think I have, you know, pretty much the layout of the page, or at least the information on the page that you fill out for your diamond painting. I think I've got that where I want it. I don't think there's any, you know, new information that I need to include or anything like that. If you think there is, though, please let me know in the comments below. If you feel like it's missing something, I would be happy to add it in. Yeah, just have some couple of different options. So maybe, you know, if you wanted to stick with last year's, the 2023 version with the black and white and all the scripts and flourishes, you are certainly welcome and able to do that. I'm going to leave, you know, the logbook up there from last year. I'm not going to take it down. So if you want to download that one for free, you certainly can. But yeah, just thinking about what I want to do and how I want to change it up. So I need to sit down and do some planning in that respect. I need to sit down and do some planning for next year's goals. I mean, I have a rough idea of what I want to do for goals, but I want to this year, unlike years previous, I want to actually sit down this year and think about, okay, if this is my goal, what steps do I need to take to make this achievable during the year, and kind of plan out the year itself a little bit better. Because like last year I said, okay, I want to do these 20 kits for my artist series, but I didn't really stop to consider, okay, if I'm going to do 20 kits, that means I've got to do roughly 2 a month in order to meet that goal. And had I seriously thought about it, I probably would have lowered the number on that, because while I probably can do it, I think it's just more stress on myself that I don't need. So I think that will be part of my goal setting next year too, that I want to be a little bit kinder to myself. I want to be a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, less ambitious, I guess. I want to work on some larger kits, which means just by default, I'm going to need to do less kits because the ones I'm working on are going to be bigger. Yeah, so I need to kind of take all that into consideration, not just my goals, but how am I going to get there, which I don't always think about. Rarely do I think about, if I'm honest. So I want to do a better job. And I do have personal goals that I want to set as well. So take some of that money I was maybe going to spend on diamond paintings and go buy my planners so I can get started on that process, because I do enjoy my planners. I just the other day sat down and went through. I buy at the beginning of the year typically sticker sets, little kits that I can use in my stickers or my planner for the month, just so I can decorate it and it's cute. And I just finished up decorating the last quarter, October, November, December, printing all of them and cutting them out with my cutting machine, and then putting them in my planner so that I could use them. And yeah, I'm ready to start looking ahead to 2024, which seems kind of crazy. I can't believe, one, I can't believe September is over, and two, I can't believe I'm already planning for 2024. Time flies, but that's okay. All right, I've just got this little section here left, but that's pretty much everything that I wanted to say for my WIP and chat. So I think I'm going to stop there. Let me zoom out so you guys can see what I've accomplished. I've just got this little section here, and honestly, I'll probably finish that while I'm editing and watching and uploading and all that good stuff today for the WIP and chat. So I made some nice progress. I hope you guys did too on whatever you are working on. Thanks for sticking around till the end, guys. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.